Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Jared at 3Cs. I have a Beta 200. I'm about to go home to a new owner, but it's kind of thrown me for a loop today. I'm glad. I think we just figured it out. So short and skinny of it is, this is a 200. It's oil injected. We never have problems with oil injected bikes. That's why this is throwing me for a loop. And we do sell a ton of betas, so it's not just a small sample size that I get. So let's flip this camera around. So we're up north here and it's like 16 degrees outside. So we're running the bike inside with the exhaust fan, and that doesn't have any effect on it. So what's happened is, this is the stock oil line. It's routed through like normal. We haven't unplugged it yet. And as soon as we start the bike, the oil is just gonna escape extremely fast through the hose and kind of suck into the motor. And at first I'm like, oh no, you couldn't tell what was really going on because there wasn't enough oil in the line. I thought that the pump was faulty. So this is off our shop build cross trainer for the hard enduro stuff. Walked over here with the bike, with the pump, and this had, at the time, it had this other hose. You can see this hose laying here. That hose belongs to this. It was still on this over here in the air, was not plugged into the bike. I just took the power source, which is that blue connector, plugged it into the pump, and it started pumping perfectly over here in the air in my hand. So without the hose being plugged into the bike, this was working. So we took this whole pump off of the bottom of this thing, threaded it all up in. Actually, the first thing I did is I took the pump down. I took all this down because there's a screen inside of the bottom of the tank. Sorry, the light is so exposed. Anyway, there's a screen in here. Check the screen, that was fine. Oil is flowing out perfectly. Check the cap, that was okay. So we did all those things. And so I was stumped forever, couldn't figure out what was going on. So I finally decided we should take the oil line that was off the cross trainer bike down there. We plugged it into here and the bike end, and it pumps perfectly. So first thing I want to do is give you a sample of what's bad. So stock hose is hooked up. You can see a little bit of oil there, and let's make sure it is plugged in. And yeah, it's into the bike there. You can see into the side of the car boot. I'm not going to turn the fan on because I'm not going to run this very long. So let's just concentrate down in here at that oil line, and you'll kind of, hopefully we can get a sample of what's going on. That was perfect. You just saw how fast that oil got sucked through the line there. It got sucked super fast, gone. So what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna take this oil line and I'm gonna pull this off the bottom of the motor here, or off the bottom of the pump. I'm gonna thread that into here, and Mr. Bill's gonna grab the other end for me in a second. So if I can get my fingers to work on camera. Okay, so that's in there. I'm gonna feed it through to him on that side. And we're just gonna plug that into the bike there. So the stock hose is no longer in the system. We've eliminated that. And it just takes a second to get them on both ends. We're happy over there. So let's just show you the new hose that's not part of the bike system is now plugged in. And let's hit the start button real quick. And right here is kind of where we're gonna concentrate and just kind of see if we get the normal two-stroke oil injection feed. Isn't that incredible? It's working. I just spent an hour changing oil pumps, checking screens, all because this line, it's got to be porous. It's got to have holes in it. There is a bulletin with Beta that if you let your two-stroke sit for like, sorry, all the smoke all of a sudden. If you let your two-stroke sit for like, you know, a month or something, and a lot of your oil evaporates out of the line into the cylinder, that's because you had a porous oil line. And I'm like, well, that's only with them talking about it being if it's sitting for a long period of time. So what we're going to try to do now is I'm going to feed this line out. We're going to feed the new line in, obviously, but I'm going to inspect that and see if I can't find something for you. So I'm going to fix the bike, and then if I can find something, we'll come back and wrap it up. All right, good morning, guys. Got the bike fixed. We're going to show you the bike itself. This is the old oil line, and I'm going to flip this around in a second, but I wanted to give you just a 2-second talk here, because we sell hundreds of betas every year, and I never have oil injection issues. That's why this is the first time you're seeing a video like this. So before people hop on the keyboards and start talking about beta oil injection having issues, it's not actually the oil injection having the problem. It's just one simple error with this hose. So that's why I like to make tech videos. As I find stuff, I do the videos right away. So if I would have had this problem a year or two ago, this video would have already been out there. So It's not a long-term issue. It's nothing we've ever seen before, and that's why it stumped me. I was changing oil pumps thinking there was something wrong with the pump, thought there was something wrong with the bike end. I didn't know what was going on. So let me flip this camera around and we'll go from there. So just to wrap up the bike side of things, you can see I ran the bike long enough. We let it trickle all the way through. So our oil is now all the way through like it should be. Everything is perfect with the bike. I'm gonna set the oil line right here. And this morning, I simply just blew on this end of it and I put pressure behind it and I plugged it with my finger. And I could see the oil coming through. And maybe I have it backwards. Hang on, maybe it's this end. Yeah, this is the bike end right here. And I don't know if you guys can see. Right there. See that little hole right there? Isn't that incredible? That's so crazy. So there wasn't oil in the line for it to come pouring out of the hole. It was so weird how it was demonstrating itself. So that was the problem, guys. It was just a simple little gash. I wish the camera would focus better. Right there, you can see that little hole right in the end of the line. So that's all it was. Hope you guys found the video helpful. If you have a weird situation where your oil is just escaping through the line extremely fast, what's funny though is the first time when I had that old line on here, it sucked straight into the motor. So it must be with a hole in the line. The vacuum pulled it into the motor. I don't know. It didn't make a mess on the outside of the bike. So like even though there was a hole there, it must have been letting air in rather than squirting oil out. So air was coming in, sucking the oil out faster than it should have been. That's why there was no mess on the outside for me to know there was a hole in the line. So hope you guys found the video helpful. Again, Jared at 3C's Recreation. Have a great day. Enjoy the ride, and we'll see you on the trail.